What up, crew? It is Magic Monday yet again, and this is the place to learn Magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a card trick that seems so impossible, but it's very simple if you just know one simple method. So, let's do it. Alright guys, so check this out. For this card trick, I'm going to need a blue bicycle deck and a red bicycle deck. The red bicycle deck will be more for the spectator, and I'm going to be taking care of the blue one. So let's have the spectator open up the deck, take it out, and give it a quick little shuffle. There we go. Then I'll instruct the spectator to go ahead and take out the 2 red aces from this deck. So here's 1 red ace and here's 2. So that's 1 and 2 red aces. Right, so now they're going to take these 2 red aces, put this over to the side. They're going to take these 2 red aces, spread out this deck right here first. And now they're going to take out these 2 red aces and sandwich 1 card between them, any card they'd like. So let's say they go ahead, they want to do this one right here. So they sandwich this 1 card like this between the 2 red aces. Then I'll just square up the deck here and just show that there is, of course we still have these 2 red aces right here, okay? So we'll take this and we'll leave it face up right here. And now it's my turn. I'm gonna go ahead, use the blue deck. Of course, I'll let the spectator shuffle it up just because, in case they want to. Boom, there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead, take out the 2 red aces. 2 red aces wow, look at what are the chances? They're located right next to each other. Look at that. All right. So, again, I'll just spread out this deck. And now I have to select a card at random. Okay. You know what? This one was close to the center. We'll go towards the edge. We'll go at the bottom. So I'm gonna go and sandwich this card right here. There we go. So that's 1 card sandwiched between the 2 red aces. All right. Let's close this up now. Boom, boom. And then we'll also just go ahead and turn this over. Now, I'm going to hand both of these decks over to the spectator. So now the spectator can go ahead and actually reveal the card that's sandwiched between the 2 red aces. So if we take a look here, 1 card sandwiched between the 2 red aces. And that 1 card is the 7 of diamonds. So that was the spectator's selected card. Now let's see the card that I randomly selected. Here we go, and we see that it is also sandwiched between the 2 red aces. It is the 7 of diamonds, a perfect match. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that performance. Of course, that was a mistake. I should have known. I should have known that wouldn't work. But anyway, a little bit of background on this effect. It's known as Mental Mates by Carl Fulves. So of course, for this deck, you will need 2 decks of cards, and I would say different colors would be better, so that's why I use a red and blue bicycle deck. And of course, these can be borrowed from the spectator. Now, starting off this trick, we're going to use the red deck. Of course, color doesn't really matter here. So you hand the deck over to the spectator. They could shuffle it as much as they'd like, just for them to feel like they have some kind of control over what's going on. So then you go ahead, shuffle up the deck, and then you tell them to take out the 2 red aces. So they go ahead, they look for the 2 red aces. Look at that, right next to each other, the 2 red aces. So they can take them out and put them on the table. And then you can tell them to go ahead and spread out the deck, right? So just spread out the deck just like that. And now they can take these 2 red aces and sandwich any card between them. Okay, so they can literally go at random, sandwich any card between them. So let's say they do this card right here. So 1 on the right-hand side and 1 on the left-hand side. And again, you have no idea what this card is. They have no idea what this card is. So it is completely, truly random. Okay, and you want to ensure that you tell the spectator that you leave these 2 cards outjogged. The 2 red aces, you want to ensure that they're outjogged and not flush with the rest of the deck. So once this is complete, now you go ahead. This is where you finally touch the deck. You go ahead, square up the deck. Okay, and as you're squaring up the deck, you want to just ensure these 2 aces are now flush with each other. turn this deck around so that the cards are face up towards you and the 2 aces are face up towards the spectator. And now you're going to be holding the deck like this. And now as you hold the deck like this is actually a method by Martin Gardner, I believe, where this is a very subtle way of looking at what card the spectator has selected. So of course they don't know, you don't know. But if you just push in these 2 cards, right, these 2 red aces, if you push them in, you'll see a card start to protrude right out here on the bottom. So you just want to push it in just enough. So now you can clearly see that there's one card protruding out. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but from here I can make out that the selected card is the King of Diamonds, okay? And this is honestly, this is such a cool way to glimpse at a spectator's selected card. So now that you've seen that it's a King of Diamonds, I just show the spectator, because everything you do has to have some kind of purpose when you're doing a card trick for the spectator. So I just like to show the spectator, again, the cards are here. Then I just spread these out a little bit just to show the 2 red aces. Then I square them back up. Make sure to push this card back in. And you want to ensure that these 2 cards don't go forward when you're pushing this card in. So I make sure I hold these cards, push this back in, and now you can leave the deck face up like this. Okay, so at this point, what the spectator believes is that the card was picked completely at random. They don't know what the card is, and you don't know what the card is. So the first phase of this whole trick is now complete. Now is the part where we pull out the second deck, okay? So you can have the spectator do this. They can go ahead, shuffle up the deck if they'd like. Again, it really has no impact on the trick as a whole. So they go ahead, shuffle up the deck. We can put this over to the side. We don't really need it. And now you take the deck. You're going to tell the spectator that you are repeating the same process. So they did it the first time. Now you're going to do it. So this is, I think, probably one of the most difficult parts of this whole trick, is that now you go ahead and find the 2 red aces, but you're also looking for the spectator selected card. So they picked the King of Diamonds. So one of the first things we want to spot is where the King of Diamonds is, okay? So you start going by going through the deck, and you're looking for the King of Diamonds. So there it is. We have the King of Diamonds right here. And now we want to find the closest red ace to that King of Diamonds. In our case, we got pretty lucky. Somehow these aces just end up right next to each other. But we got very lucky with the location of the King of Diamonds. It's not always the case where it comes this close to the red ace. Sometimes it's like 20 cards down. Sometimes it's right next to it, so that works out beautifully. And yeah, so we got very lucky. The King of Diamonds is right here. So what I like to do is I push out the 2 red aces wherever they are. Let me actually put this a bit further down. So I pull out the 2 red aces wherever they are in the deck, and I reverse them in place first. And the reason I reverse them in place is because I want to maintain that location of where it is relative to the spectator's King of Diamonds, okay? So I reverse that card in place, and of course, since I do it for this, I have to do it for the other card as well. And now I square it up, okay? And then I turn the deck over. Now I have to remember, keep in mind that the bottom ace is the one closer to the King of Diamonds, and the King of Diamonds is located exactly 2 cards below the bottom ace, or this Ace of Hearts right here. So now let me move this over a bit more. Now when I do this and I spread this out, I again tell the spectator that I am going to select a card at random, just like how they did. So in the spectator's mind, they're thinking, okay, you just reverse the 2 red aces, now you're gonna pick a random card, just like they did. They did the exact same thing, you're gonna do the exact same thing, all right? So you take it out, you take out the 2 red aces. I generally take out just one first and keep the one that's closer to the spectator selected card. This way, this kind of allows me to count, right? So for example, let's say the card was a bit further down. When I'm doing this, I kind of just take my time, go slowly, and I really listen for when the card goes from one card to the other. For example, hopefully you can hear this. So you can hear, I exaggerated the noise a little bit, but you can hear as I'm counting, right? So if the card is very far down, for me at least, it's difficult to kind of judge and exactly count like 10 cards down, because personally, I just lose count for some reason. That's why if it was 10 cards down, let's say, I would take this, when I get to the red ace, and I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that really helps me do the counting, so now I can insert the ace at that 10th card. Okay, but of course now we know it's only 2 down, So you don't really have to count, you can just eyeball it here. But you know, you just count 1, 2, and you know that's a spectator's selected card that they have there. So you put an ace on either side of that card. So now we have that 1 card sandwiched. So you do the same thing, square it up. And I do the exact same thing that I did there for the spectator. Okay, I square it up like this. I show them. There's the 2 red aces. Of course, I'm doing this right in front of them. And once I do that, then let me actually push the zebra in. Then I leave this right here. So now we have the pile that you made, and we have the pile the spectator made. And I hand both of these piles over to the spectator. And the reason I'm doing that is because in the reveal, if the spectator is doing all the work, then the impact is going to be much more powerful. So the more work the spectator does, the more powerful the impact of the entire performance. Okay, so once that's done, you go ahead. Oh, sorry, the spectator goes ahead, spreads out these cards, and they see the 1 card sandwich between the 2 red aces is the king of diamonds, and of course that's between the 2 red aces. So you can take that, put it on the table, put these over to the side, and now you do the exact same thing, or sorry, the spectator does the exact same thing. They spread it out, and they see, oh my god, there's 1 card sandwich between the 2 red aces, and oh my god, it is in fact the king of diamonds as well. We both picked such random cards. What are the chances that we get them in the same location? Oh my god, it's amazing. Okay, so that was a bit exaggerated, but I mean, that is pretty cool, right? It seems completely random how the spectator chose the card, and it in fact is completely random how the spectator chose the card. It also seems very random how you chose the card, especially when you become fluent in doing these actions. And it just has such a powerful effect that I think will definitely blow audiences away completely. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this effect as much as I did, and if you want to check out some more cool stuff, make sure to click on that video right there. And now, of course, we can't have Magic Monday without a quote of the week. So this one is by Dr. Seuss. It says, "Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." Peace out.